Hey, what's up everybody? It's Will with Southern Grails, man. I'm back here with another video. It's been a while, of course, as always. Man, I got a great stack of some stuff to show you guys here today. I got a few that are about to end in the auction today, so if you catch this video today, you might have a chance it's gonna end tonight. But I got some cool ones that I found that I still wanted to show you guys. Man, I found incredibly rare blues record I thought I would never ever see in person. Get right straight to it, man. I know I usually like to show the best ones at the end. I gotta show this one first. I went to a show in, I think it was Birmingham, a couple of weeks ago, and somebody had up on their wall, had this rare blues album that I'd seen before on Discogs, but I'd never seen it in person. He had a pretty high price on it, and me and another gentleman were sitting there talking, and when the other gentleman that was interested in it had left, he knocked off like $200 on the price. I couldn't turn it down. Anyway, this is Arthur Big Boy Crato, Mean Old Frisco. This is an original 1960 or 1961. I think it's a 61. Yeah, but Arthur Crato, man, he did a lot of. This is that real kind of a Delta country blues. Did a lot of stuff back in the day, like in the 40s. You know, this is the only blues record that I got in my collection. I had, y'all seen in my other videos, I had a lot of the Lightning Hopkins, like on Folkways and Prestige Blues Film. I ended up selling that stuff. I mean, that stuff's kind of, I can find it again, but I decided if I was going to keep any blues, it would be as early as a blues record as possible. Ideally, I want the Robert Johnson on Vocalen, you know, on those shellacks, which are, I'll never have that. But this sound, anyway, not to go on a spiel, but this sound right here is about as close as I've come so far. If I find some earlier stuff, I found some old shellacks back in the day, but they were beat to death. But this thing, man, it is nice. Really great sounding. If you like that kind of blues, it's not electric, straight acoustic, but it's just that old-fashioned Delta, Memphis, not Memphis, but that old, you know, Mississippi kind of blues. Really great stuff. Okay, this band here, actually, this is one of the ones that's up at auction right now. But I've been kind of getting into some of that early 2000s indie rock. There's been a few bands that have kind of stuck out to me. Y'all guys know I'm a jazz man, but when I heard this record here, I was like, man, this is a different sound. But this is called White Lighter. The name of the album is Typhoon. I think this is 2013. It's an indie band out of Portland. I think they're out of Portland, Oregon. Really different sound. Check it out, stream it. It's a really incredible sound. Kind of difficult to find, but not too difficult. That one's up at auction right now, so it'll end tonight. Got a good chance to get that one pretty cheap. This one here, man, I never sleep on this guy. His early stuff is hard to find, but that's the Possum. That's George Jones. This is Country Church Time. Now, this is an original, well, it's a 64 mono. Originally came out in stereo, I think in 59 or 60 or something like that. But I grew up in an old Baptist style church when I was a kid. So this kind of music is kind of near and dear to my heart. Perhaps I'm not as religious as I should be, but still, this holds a special place. I'm not keeping it. It's going to go up in the next auction. Difficult George Jones to find. So if you're looking for it, it's going to be up next week. This is one of my top favorite movie soundtracks of all time, man. Friday Night Lights. This is an original 2004 pressing. If you haven't seen the movie Friday Night Lights, it's based on a true story about a high school football team that tries to go to the national championship. Has some stuff happen along the way. If you haven't seen it, man, stop hiding. Go check it out. It is one of the best sports movies out there. This one's not in the there. This one's kind of hard to find. I would have kept this one, but the conditions I want something a little bit more cleaner. This is a VG, but if you know the soundtrack, it's super duper quiet. So it's a little bit of crackle in it in a few spots. But it's at auction now. Man, I really wanted to keep that. This one here, man, Carmen Mackie and Oz. This is an original 70, I think this is 1971. Yeah, 1971, look at that. This is, if you know Carmen Mackie, I think I'm saying her name right. She had some, did with Blues Creation. And I think a couple of bands, but those were just like heavy blues rock, psychedelic rock. This is kind of more like the power pop, but it's got some freaking phenomenal guitar solos. And it can be, you know, you can get this, even in original Japanese like this is, you get this for like 30, 40 bucks. But it's at auction now. It'll end tonight. This one here, man, this is a hip hop grail. Organized Confusion. What was the name of this? Stress, the Extinction Agenda. Original, I think this is 1991. What year did this come out? 91, I believe. 1994. Check out the cover too. There's a lot going on in there. But this is kind of that political, what they call conscious rap. Yeah, talking about the struggles of the time and this and that, but it's got some gangster stuff in it too. You know, not really in my wheelhouse, but it's up at auction now. Really on a lot of people's want lists. Nice copy. Okay, let's get into some jazz. These are ones. Oh, actually, here's the last one here that's going to go up on the auction. I just got this recently. The Avant Garde, John Coltrane and Don Cherry. This is an original 66 mono pressing. Now this is one that can be had pretty easily. You can get a good copy, about $40, $50. You would think from the title that it might be just crazy out there jazz, but it's not. It's kind of straight ahead. Don Cherry has got some stuff out there that's really, really wild. But this one here is kind of subtle. It's kind of maintained. It's not too far out there, but still a great good jazz record if you're trying to get into it. Super happy to find this one. This is the only album I have with him as a lead man. Curtis Fuller, Soul Trombone. This is an original 62 mono with Freddie Hubbard, Jimmy Heath, Jimmy Cobb. Really great stuff. I like the trombone. Don't get me wrong. Curtis can blow when he wants to, but the sound, for me, the sound of the trombone, it either sounds like somebody who's sleepy who's trying to go into bed, or somebody who's drunk and trying to walk. Every time I hear the trombone being played, that's just what I think of. Somebody drunk, stumbling, trying to find their way through the house, or somebody who's really sleepy, trying to wake up and having a hard time. Does that make sense? It's just my ears. Oh, I was stoked around this one. I won this one at an auction. The person that was selling it at the auction had the grading completely off. He had the grading down as like good, worn, sounded like stuff. Obviously didn't play grade it, but when I got home, cleaned it up, strong VG+. Loved it. This Smack Up, the Art Pepper Quintet. Original, what is this, 62? 62, I believe, yeah. 62 press. Who's on here? Jack Sheldon, Pete Jolly, Jimmy Bond, Frank Butler. A lot of the West Coast guys, but Art Pepper's sound, as always, as smooth as melting butter. Man, I really regret all those old Art Peppers that I ended up selling a couple of videos ago. I think I showed you guys. Now this one here, I hit up a guy on Facebook who had a bunch of records, blah, blah, blah. Y'all know the story, blah, 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 blah. I had never seen this, never even heard of this guy. And me, you know, as deep as I've gone into jazz, I should have. You know, shame on me, kind of embarrassing. But it's the Max Roach Trio with the legendary Hassan on the piano. It's an original, what, 1960, I believe? But this guy here, man, this is the only thing he put out. The only thing he put out as a lead man. His style of piano play amazing. I try to. It's kind of like Thelonious Monk and Andrew Hill. So he's got that heavy kind of pounding like Monk has, but the way he plays in his compositions are like Andrew Hill, extremely complicated. It's not straight ahead. His play is all over the place. Unbelievable. Beautiful sound. Beautiful sound. Really kind of hard one to find. I'm super stoked to finally have that in the collection. Just picked this up. Freeform. Donald Byrd. Original, what is it, 66. Original 66 mono. Butch Warren, Billy Higgins, Herbie, Wayne Shorter. I just checked out that Wayne Shorter documentary on Netflix. Really good. Really good. You would think with the title on this, that this is kind of out there. This is straight up, man, post-bop, boogaloo, swinging jazz. Wayne Shorter is a maniac, of course. Donald Byrd sounds great. This is just a great must-have blue note for the collection. Okay, this one here, I never even knew about these guys. This is Earl and Carl Grubbs, the Visitors. This is a 74 promo on Muse Records. Allegedly, I know I'm probably going to do this wrong. Allegedly, these are Alice Coltrane's cousins. It's either that or John Coltrane's first wife. Their cousins. I think that's the one. I think it's their first wife cousins. Really great, man. Soul jazz, post bop. This one's a tough one to find. They also had another one on the same label. Oh, I can't remember the name of it. It's got a white cover. It's got I can't think of it. But those that know, you know what I'm talking about. Really hard to find. Everything that they put out is tough to find. All right, this is a quick video. Last one. Now, I've had this copy a bunch of times. I've never had a personal one because they're always trashed. It's always trashed. And I've heard this lady. I've heard everything by this lady. In my opinion, this is the best. This is the best that she has to offer. In my opinion, this is debatable now. That's Nina Simone. Pastel Blues. Originals, what is this, 1965 stereo. Man, I think there's this couple of songs on here that her husband at the time had wrote for her, Be My Husband. But man, this is my, in your opinion, this is the best by Nina. Now she had some really great soul funk stuff of the 70s, which I got, man. Y'all guys follow my auction, I got like everything except for the stuff that she did like in Denmark and France and stuff like that. I don't have none of that. But all that original US stuff on Cold Picks, dude, I got it. It's about to be coming up at auction. But this one here, finally got a super duper clean copy. This is the only Nina that I got. I had her on Bethlehem. What was it? You guys know what I'm talking about. But I ended up selling it. I could find it again. Super happy to have this one. Nina, she's the best. All right, guys, that's it. Quick video. Show you what I've been finding out there. Always ripping and roaring. Got great stuff in the works, and I'll be back soon. Show you what I got. See you.